Alright gang, Joe here at Fair Woodcraft. This is a special review for me. And yeah, I know I've said in the past that I'm not a review guy. I really don't think that phrase can really apply to me anymore. I've done too many and it's too frequent these days for me to hold to that aspect. It just kind of turned out that way. But got a special one for you today. Let's get rearranged and I'll show you what we're talking about. Alright gang, well, what we're talking about today is a Bucksaw. It's a collapsible Bucksaw. Fits in this nice canvas pouch. This is 100% handmade. It's by a guy named, his business is Hostile Designs. Pardon me while I get rid of a problem bush. He goes by Hostile Designs. His nickname is Hoss. His real name is Aaron. He sells strictly through Bushcraft USA. For some reason I have the impression that may change next winter. Don't hold me to that. That's just the impression I have. So for now, if after this review you're interested in one of these, go to Hostile Designs subforum of Bushcraft USA, and he'll hook you up. 3 or 4 months ago, a really good friend of mine goes by Brent on Facebook. You guys who know me on Facebook will know who I'm talking about, or more than likely anyway. Goes by Kiharo Keto on YouTube. I don't think he has any videos, but he does subscribe to several channels. And on Bushcraft USA he also goes by Kiharo Keto. Anyway, he was at my house, he had a saw, and he said, "Hey Joe, check this out." He showed it to me and I fell in love. I mean, it's awesome saw. And one of the neat things that I'm finding kind of special about, or at least the idea of it going into this review, is that it's a Bucksaw. You know, usually when you review a knife or a gun or something, you know, you need to see how it performs. Well, the whole idea of this saw is, you know, as long as it's sturdy, a Bucksaw, how it functions, I mean, durability aside of the construction materials that holds the saw together, it's all about the blade. And you know, Haas doesn't make the blades. You know, it's whatever kind of blade you want to put into it. So this is about the aesthetics and the durability of the materials that make up the saw itself. So, you know, I just get to show you how pretty this thing is, and how easy it is to put together. You know, so it's an easy review to do, and frankly guys, it is a gem to look at. So again, let me rearrange the camera so I can show you how pretty it is and how easy it is to put together. Alright, well again, I mean, like I said before, it comes in tan, brown canvas bag. It is hand sewn by Haas himself. The cord is just a dull orange paracord, and it comes snapped together by the pouch and leather straps. That again, I mean, he makes all this. I mean, aside from the metal fasteners and, you know, saw blade and stuff like that, you know, he's made all of this. He even laminated this wood himself, and he does several different styles. I mean, you can request what kind of wood you want yours made out of. I don't know what options are available, but I mean, it doesn't have to be this particular series of wood here. This is maple, tiger wood, and ipe, laminated by him himself. You just unsnap these, and it breaks open like that. Now, I've only put this thing together once. This is actually the first time I've ever used it. So it's going to be, and I can't look at each individual piece and know exactly where it goes, but we will figure it out. Easy enough. One thing I noticed first time around is you have the notch up here where you tie the cord to apply tension to the saw blade. Obviously that's going to go on the outside, so it kind of helps you know where these pieces go. Get this where you can see it. You just slide the saw blade in there. And if you're not a dodo like me, find the hole. There you go. Alright. Hang on, my phone's going off. I need to make sure the wife doesn't need me at home. Because as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I have a new one in the house. He's 4.5 weeks old, and he is opinionated and cranky. Alright, anyway, you got your saw blade on there, and yes, you gentlemen can see this. Stand it up. There you go. Sorry guys, I'm on a pretty good bank here. I've got a down poplar log behind you here that I'm going to cut up. And anyway, so it's kind of hard to keep things arranged. You have a double length of the paracord to wrap around here, done by a Canadian jam knot, just to apply tension at the top. Just double it over. At least I am assuming this is his intent. The Canadian jam knot allows you to adjust the length, but it also keeps it tight. So wherever you set it, it's going to stay. Anyway, slip it over down into the groove. Yep. And I've lost. There we go. Get through there. So anyway, the Canadian jam knot allows you to decide the beginning pressure or tension, so to speak. You know, just how tight you want it initially, and then you just have a flat wooden board of, you know, 1 inch by, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch, I guess, to twist it around to whatever tension you see fit for the saw blade. Slide it down, and there you go. You know, I don't know, I didn't time that, but you know, that was probably, with me yakking at you, you know, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes to put this thing together. And you know, a minute ago I was saying, you know, that because the functionality of the saw or how well it works all depends on the brand of saw blade you put in there, is basically what's going to decide the functionality, which is true. Another aspect you probably would consider or might be interested in is how much this thing weighs. You know, I don't have a scale that weighs. You know, all I have is a body scale, basically, what you'd weigh yourself in the morning with. But I mean, it is super light. It weighs akin to the metal version that I got at Tractor Supply several years ago. So that doesn't collapse. You know, just your regular cheap $10 Bucksaw. So anyway, well, let's again go back to repositioning the camera, and you know, I'll show you this thing at work. But I mean, this thing it is a work of art. I mean, he laminated that himself. It's held, the lamination's held together with epoxy. I'm assuming some kind of glue, but you know, brass pins all throughout, finger grooves to keep it comfortable, sanded, stained. I mean, this thing's pretty. This thing's absolutely beautiful, and it's easy to put together, easy to take apart. And Haas knows what he's doing. All right, let's show you some work. See, and one, you know, quickly, what I'm realizing, the only Bucksaw that I've used aside from the commercial version, just a metal, you know, well, actually, The commercial version I'm talking about, it's a bow saw, really, not so much a bucksaw. You have to mess with that stupid wing nut that basically, well, in my opinion, hurts your fingers to get it to the tension that you want. There's a little bit of a flex to the blade. Well, simple. Slide your little toggle up, give it another turn or two, slide it back down, and you know, find the tension you want. And just as an aside, one thing that I don't like about Western North Carolina woods is all the stupid vines. Just chewing right through it. Now, I mean, granted, this is poplar. It's nothing extremely hard, and the outer 1/4 inch or so is water laden and partially rotted. Maybe a 1/2 inch or an inch there in some places, but whatever. Or more so at that part. Yeah, that's basically rotting all the way through. A good one. That one's not too rotten. Well, you know what all is there? You know, it's a saw. And I don't mean that in a disparaging manner. But, you know, the big part about this saw is it's light. It collapses down into almost nothing. I mean, the footprint is really small. It's convenient to carry. Frankly, I came out here. I don't have a pack or anything. I just took the strap and looped it around my belt and cinched it tight and walked, all said and done, maybe a 1/2 mile out here. You know, I did some wanderings, went and checked a couple of pine resin sources of mine just to see how well they're doing this summer. And anyway, you know, it held onto my belt. May not be a long-term option, but you know, if I had a pack, easily strap it on, you know, no issues. And as I just stated, how I carried this out here, I just took this, the lanyard, well, the zip cord, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the compression cord, which is made out of the orangish paracord, and looped it through my belt, up through, back through, and around, and there you have it. I carried it the whole way out here just like that. Didn't get in my way. It did get snagged a few times on vines and stuff, but you know, the rest of me was getting snagged too, so it was pretty much a superfluous snag. I made it all the way out here, so I mean, it's convenient to carry as well. Just another thing on your bat belt, so to speak. Alright gang, well, I mean, you know, how many cuts are you willing to sit through on a review and watch me do? You know, I don't want to overdo it and I don't want to underdo it, but you know, again, I think the main part about a collapsible bucksaw is its weight, its durability, and aesthetics, if you care about that sort of thing. And typically, I'm not hung up on aesthetics a whole lot, but you know, if I can have a functional piece of gear, whether it be a knife, a pack, you know, even down to a cook kit, you know, that's just, you know, this gravy on top. And this one definitely goes above and beyond aesthetically, as far as I'm concerned. It's stout. You know, I don't know how to show you how it's stout. I mean, you know, it's a bucksaw. And I'm not going to take an item like this and beat it up just to prove to you that it can take a beating. Because honestly, I'm going to baby this thing. You know, I'll use the Hades out of it, but you know, I'm not going to, you know, start beating on trees with it either. So it is, you know, I've said it time and time again. in the last 20 minutes. It is just straight up pretty. I'm proud to have a piece of gear like this. So again, Aaron or Haas of Haas Style Designs, bud, thank you very much, man. This thing, you know, I'm flabbergasted. It is absolutely beautiful. Now let's take this baby apart, just to kind of recap. Slide the toggle out, let it spin free. Take your paracord off. Undo these, whatever these are called. Take your saw blade out. Slide these off. Lay your saw blade on top. If you notice, the holes line up. Slide these clasps back through. Snap it shut. Do the same thing on the other side. And take your toggle and your paracord, put it back in its pouch. This is probably the most awkward part of the whole thing, getting it to be flat enough to actually snap back. Which, you know, is still not really that awkward. It's just, if you want to keep it neat and pretty, you gotta get it precise in there. It's probably easier when you don't have a bunch of leaves and vines and stuff in your way too. Anyway, take your saw, snap it back. Alright gang, well, just in conclusion, I think I've said just about everything that needs to be said, or should be said anyway. I don't know what else I can say. You know, it's a rare occasion I come on my channel and try to sell a piece of gear, as I'm not really trying to sell it, but I want you guys to be aware of this. I mean, you know, Haas is a friend of mine, so I'd love to see him get some business. This is a quality piece of gear. Price points between you guys, I mean, it's reasonable. It is definitely reasonable, like I said before. But I'm not gonna come on here and name a price, and then if you see this video in 6 months and he's raised his prices or whatnot, or if an option you want, you know, it raises the price, I'm not gonna go there. So, you know, it's a reasonable cost, as I ramble on and on. So I'm gonna leave the price point alone at this point. But if you're interested in this sort of thing, you know, I highly suggest you check it out. At least talk to him. Again, you can find him on Bushcraft USA sub forum, and the vendors area is Haas Style Designs. What else to say? You know, I hope I did this justice, really. I was racking my brain for several days, well, even longer, trying to figure out exactly, you know, how do I show this saw off? How do I show what all it can do? Well, you know, again, I came to the conclusion it's a saw. You know, how well it performs in cutting wood is more so about the saw blade that you put in it. And, you know, that's, while you do get a saw blade with this, he does provide one. You know, it's whatever saw blade you put in it, that's how it's going to perform. So, you know, it's stout, it's well built, it's pretty. I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, and it has an incredibly small footprint for what it is, and it's light. So, it's a good deal. But again, I know I've said it a couple times, but Aaron, Haas, thank you very much. This means a lot, bud. I appreciate it. And anyway, guys, well, I guess, well, I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you check them out.